Welcome to the 25th anniversary celebration of Delta State, South Nigeria. Some of the highlights of this year's week-long activities include a colorful cultural parade from the 25 local government areas of the state and a two-day economic summit to showcase investment opportunities in Delta State. Thank you for joining us. I'm Esther Awuni. Delta State, located in the western part of the oil-rich Niger Delta region, is also known as the land of 1,000 dances. This is showcased in a colorful cultural parade from the 25 local government areas of the state.
I want to reassure all Deltans that these challenging times will not last forever. By the special grace of God, in the next few months, we will be out of this stage. We are praying, we are working, we are talking with our people, and we are urging our traditional rulers to take up this mantle of battle. Because we believe that when all of us begin to speak, and to speak positively, that things will turn around.
There were so many agitations of the creation of the state. Some wanted coastal state, some wanted Ethiopia state, some wanted Anioma state, some wanted, in quote, Delta State by their own opinion how it should be. And God in his own infinite mercies created Delta State and named us as the capital city. This is 25 years, instead we are growing stronger. So there's need for us to celebrate that.
A key highlight of the Jubilee celebration is an economic summit aimed at showcasing the economic potential of the state. It begins with speeches from keynote speakers.
People have asked, is there any cause to celebrate? Why celebrate with all the challenges on ground? But I tell people that when there is need to celebrate, you celebrate, but you celebrate with a lot of common sense. What we have done today and yesterday is celebrating, thinking ahead. Not being loud about it, but because people have made us realize that there is hope for the future. We need to recreate hope for our people.
I believe very strongly that one of the critical things for us is that we must have faith in our abilities to make this country truly great. And I can tell you, and I say this even though I'm involved in it, that there is a dedication and commitment and an honesty in the leadership of this nation today. There's no question about that. And I can give you that and I can tell you that. And because that is the case, it is possible for us to do things that can truly make this country great.
I see the oil price collapse as an opportunity. I actually thank God that the oil price has collapsed. And I pray that if God truly loves Nigeria, it should actually get below $10 a barrel. Because that is the only way, I think, to jolt us out of the stupor. Because for too long, we've lived with the borrowed robes. And I think for the next generation, for the 400 million Nigerians expected in this country by the year 2050, oil cannot be the way for the future.
Frankly, a $10 oil today, nah. I mean, let's be realistic. If that happened today, we're not even prepared for it. It will force us into doing things, no doubt about it, and we should begin to do those things dramatically. But my job, unfortunately, still rests on having to get those barrels up and get those prices up. And so I'm going to continue doing that until you guys show me a secondary plan on how you're going to survive at $10 a barrel.
Nigeria's Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, is the lead speaker of the first panel discussion of the summit titled Economy and Investment, Fiscal Incentives for Investments at Sub-National Level.
We need to change our buying habits. We need to change our spending habits. We need to patronize locally made products where possible. And we need to understand that 170 million people with a 70% propensity to import is a disaster. We need to find things that can be made here, even if it's just our food, even if we just eat what is made in Nigeria, it will take huge pressure off our currency and it will create jobs for Nigerians. If local means Nigerian jobs, then I want to be local. If local means less unemployment for our people, I want to be local. If local means the kind of products that I saw it displayed in your exhibition, high-class products that can compete anywhere in the world, then I want to be local.
Delta State, because of our locational advantage, meaning where we are located, we are so blessed by God. We are equidistant to many states in the eastern region and also many states in the western region. You can approach Delta State by air, by land, and by sea. By air, we should make sure the Asaba Airport is an international airport. I'm sure the governor, his cabinet, they start working on it. But before it can be upgraded to international, let's be able to land at night. So you have to install the instrument landing system there. So which we understand is being imported, is around. If I were the Excellency, the governor of Delta State, I would set up a committee, strong committee of no more than 5 people. If there are more, the job will not be done.
As we talk about fiscal incentive, a lot of people have in mind what you as a governor, you will be able to provide to investor by way of lowering tax or some kind of loophole. This is not what we view as a fiscal incentive. The best contribution that the government, federal or state, can make to promote investment in the state or in the country is to have some kind of fiscal transparency.
The question of growing the economy remains fundamental. Growing the economy, like my colleague has just pointed out, requires getting the macroeconomic framework right and ensuring that the micro dimensions of investments are taken seriously.
I will call on my friend Frank Abogu to tell us how his media, powerful media house, will report what the Honorable Minister of Finance has said with regard to Buy Nigeria. How will you change that narrative that what is made in Nigeria should be good and not necessarily a bad thing to wear anything local? How would your powerful media house, how would you change that narrative?
Attitudes tend to die hard, but the work to change that attitude has to start now. And I believe that the media will be quite crucial in bringing about that change. First, we need to begin to make things here. And most certainly, I think we need to begin to eat what we grow.
Like many other states across the country looking to diversify revenue streams, Delta State is positioning itself to attract investments to its agriculture space. This is what panelists discussed in this session focused on agribusiness.
Given all that you have been hearing and what you intend to do, that by December this year, how would things have improved? You'll be able to tell them, and then by March next year, where do you want agribusiness in Delta State to be? Let's start from there, Honorable Commissioner.
We have profiled our crop activities, our agric activities in the state, and come to the conclusion that there's need for us to concentrate and invite investors to key into those areas in which we have comparative advantage. Yes, I want to promise that we as a ministry, we provide all the database needed by investors to invest in the agri sector.
So if you need a big loan, in theory, you already have to be very rich to be a farmer. So for example, if you want 100 million naira loan, you would need a house in Ikoyi or Port Harcourt to Abuja of 150 million naira. And if you need $1 billion naira, you need a property of 1.5 billion naira. And unfortunately, in my case, for example, we leased the land from the state government, and this doesn't qualify as suitable land for a loan. And this is what most farmers, well, most big commercial farmers have. So that's why in Nigeria today, it's the big farms that have international investors with international assets that can easily borrow money.
Many farmers are not making it because when you go into farming, for example, you are involved in just one aspect of it. We're talking about integrated farming now, where you have what we regard as ZERI, Zero Emission Research Initiative. And what does it entail? That if somebody has a poultry, for example, then he has a fish pond, for example, and he has a little farm or planting or so. When you have your fowl droppings, you can use that to fertilize your pond. You can also produce maggots, and then with which you can feed, because presently the problem we have is that the cost of feeding is such now that you are not able to make it if you are doing just only one.
Delta State is changing its public-private partnership laws and also strengthening security in the state.
We have a Dalcano from Italy, and we have some other groups from United Emirates who are joint venture partners with the state. The DINA law is all about protection. The NIPC, Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, have detailed incentive on what to do on how to protect businesses, foreign businesses. And the essence of DINA law is to create a platform where we can create additional incentives that are local to us, that they desire to enable them partner with us in business. So in terms of the justice system, we have a robust justice system to take care of dispute resolutions and all that, arbitration, mobile courts and all that. So clearly, we are committed to develop the state along that platform, because that's the only way to go.
We have what we call the Delta Investment Development Agency Bill, which is before the House right now. It has passed through its second reading. It will come out in the third reading and pass very shortly after our recess. But you see, the state the governor is very proactive when it comes to investment matters in Delta State. That bill came up about 2 months ago, and we've been working on it, believing that the enabling laws must be put on ground for investors, so that investors can have a safe haven in Delta.
Essentially, security is everybody's business. It's not just government's responsibility. But somehow we have the impression that, well, everything has to do with government. But I don't believe so.
The Delta State government has outlined a 5-point agenda, which it says will help create wealth for the people in the state, while also ensuring that business owners have a conducive environment to operate in. We'll take a break, and when we return, more highlights from the Delta State 25th anniversary celebration. Welcome back. We now continue with more highlights from the Delta State Silver Jubilee celebration. Delta State is focusing on private sector-led growth and is reviewing some of its laws to encourage more investments in the state. Panelists at this combined session on the ease of doing business and ways to bridge infrastructure gaps at a sub-national level take the conversation further by proffering solutions to help remove investment barriers, while also focusing on bridging infrastructure gaps in the state.
Infrastructure is key, and I wanted to just ask, what are the key infrastructure tools that the ministry has identified for creating an enabling environment for doing business in Delta State?
We have put in place various strategies to ensure that roads that are constructed or rehabilitated in this administration are not only effective, but are sustainable. Now, what we do in this area is that we have 3 monitoring stages. At the level of the field, we have our field engineers, which we call superintending engineers. We have zonal engineers, we call them chief zonal engineers. Then we'll have at the ministry level, where I'm the head of that team, that will go around monitoring our projects in terms of road construction. It will interest you to note that for the 1 year, this administration has awarded 46 roads. And out of these 46 roads, His Excellency himself, the governor of the state, has visited 37.
When the governor asked us to work on the airport concessioning exercise, we advertised first for credible international transaction advisors to be appointed. We didn't want to do it the normal government way. We said we wanted transaction advisors who could give us the best deal. We went to brief the governor. The governor asked us about a company. He said, where is this company that one of his friends had spoken to him about this company? How did they perform? We showed him the result. He laughed. Now, throughout the process, he had pressures from his friends, but he never spoke to us about messing around with the process.
Now, let me tell you this. I've worked for government for 15 years. I've worked for 2 governors, Republican, Democrat. I've worked with the Obama administration, and I've worked with the Bush administration. So what I see here is a formula, a model, and a best practice that is far surpassed anything that I've seen in a long while.
According to the Delta State government, the key outcomes of the economic summit will help the state evaluate some of its key policies, improve the ease of doing business in the state to attract more investors.
The quality of the papers delivered, the discussions that took place, and the responses that came, even from the government officials, were extremely encouraging, recognizing the fact that this state has all it takes. And one is only just looking forward now to what will be the outcomes, what will be the actual achievements within the next 12 months by the time they are aged 26 years.
With the kind of leadership we have in our governor, there is hope for Delta State.
An exhibition showcasing various goods and services from different industries in Delta State is also part of activities to celebrate the state's 25th anniversary. From agriculture produce, art and crafts to fashion, the state governor is taking around the exhibition stalls.
The big heart, beautiful nations proud. Our land, our shores are run with love, sustained by leader, rights and joy. So let us be united. Let's be joy for the joy of a new day. We'll achieve victory. We'll achieve victory.
A gala and awards night marks the end of the week-long celebration. Prominent personalities from the private sector and former past governors of the state are recognized for their contributions to the development of Delta State. The state governor, Ifeanyi Okowa, along with his deputy, Kingsley Otuaro, are also recognized for their contributions too.
That I present you this award of recognition by the government and people of Delta State. Thank you for all your services to our dear state.
Let's be joy for the joy of a new day. We'll achieve victory.
One of the high points of the evening is a presentation of the City Gate Key to former President Ibrahim Babangida.
Celebrating this day on our 25th anniversary, we remember that there is a need to show love to one who showed love to us. And because of that, as a sign of friendship, we want to present this City Gate Key as a sign of friendship to General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida on behalf of the people of Delta State.
We'll achieve victory.
Another key highlight of the night is the unveiling of the new Delta State logo by the State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa.
We want to officially unveil a state logo for which you'll be told how and why we decided to choose the logo as it is by the Commissioner for Information. But for now, it is for us to unveil it so that you see it, and henceforth, this will be the logo of our state, Delta State. God bless you.
Stand by, lead our rights and yours, so let us be united. People strong and free. Let's be joyful for the joy of a new day. Marching
For the rest of the evening, guests are entertained by musical artists, the state's cultural troupe, and comedians.
Governor, say make I send account number. I say, God, I send it to him. To God be the glory. That the first time, 100 million Zimbabwe money enter my account.
The Delta State government, led by the Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, is implementing what it calls a smart agenda, a 5-point plan of action focused on strategic wealth creation projects and provision of jobs for the people of the state. The state plans to engage more of its youth in key sectors such as agriculture, create a more enabling environment for local and foreign business owners, and also position the state as a leader in sectors in which it has comparative advantage. The goal of the state is to become an investment hub for investors. We've come to the end of this special highlight of the 25th anniversary celebration of Delta State. Thank you for watching. I'm Esther Awuni.